Hey guys, it's Destroyed212, and today I'm bringing you another Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix video. In today's video, I'm going to cover how to level your forms and your summon very fast, as well as teach you a nice little money trick that could come in handy for obtaining some extra ethers to make grinding a little bit easier, as well as obtain some potions if you really need them. Now note that these are my personal favorite spots, but a lot of people in the community use them as well, so I figured I'd make a little public service announcement kind of video to show you guys how to easily level up your forms if you don't know how to, really. And, with all that being said, let's hop right into this, starting with the money trick. Now, to start off with the money trick, you're going to want to make sure Donald and Goofy are both set to Sora attack. This ensures that they don't attack and kill the Gambler Nobodies, which are vital for this strat. And then next, you're going to want to go ahead and equip all the draws and jackpots you can on both Donald and Goofy, as well as yourself. Jackpots, what Jackpot does, it's an ability that it increases the amount of money dropped from enemies upon killing them, or in this case, doing their RC. And Draw helps you draw on the money a little bit easier so you don't have to go scrambling everywhere for it. And next, then you're going to want to head over to the Mysterious Tower's Moon Chamber, and also make sure to equip the Wishing Lamp Keyblade on Sora. Now, after all this setup has been done, head into the room, and you're going to want to be doing the Gambler's RC. Upon a successful completion of the Gambler RC, it should drop money. However, if you fail it, it's no big deal. Just go ahead and exit and re-enter the room. And since Donald and Goofy are both set to Sora attack, all of the Gambler Nobodies should be left alive. And again, upon successful completion of the RC, each Gambler drops money. They're dropping 300 for me in this case. Again, they drop more the more jackpots you equip. I'm missing a jackpot because I'm only level 39 in this video. But, again, it doesn't really matter your level. It is still a very efficient method to getting money fast. In fact, you can get like 15,000 money in just about 10 minutes, maybe a little bit less. Probably making it the easiest method in the game, outside of killing Heartless, but again, killing Heartless is slow, and you always chance die, and with the Gamblers, while you can chance die, it is a lot less of a chance, making this probably the safest and fastest method for grinding money. And now, with that being said, let's hop right into the first form in the game to level. So the first form you get in the game is Valor Form. Valor Form obtains its level simply through hitting enemies. So, the easiest way to do this is to head down into the treasure room in Agrabah, Agrabah's Cave of Wonders to be exact. Equip the Oathkeeper and the Starseeker Keyblades. Oathkeeper keeps you informed longer, Starseeker extends your aerial combo by 1. And you're just going to want to wail away on the mushroom with aerial combos. Now since each hit is getting it closer to being leveled, and you're wailing on this for, I think it lets you wail on it for like a minute and 40 seconds before it disappears, you can get a lot of levels here. If you're too high of a level though, you can kill it, but that's no matter. If you do, just exit and re-enter the room, and the mushroom will have respawned. Now, if you guys want to retain your levels, or your drive gauges rather, go ahead and exit the world, so go to the save point while you're still in the form. Head to the world map, and if you were still in a form, when you re-enter the world, you should still have all of your drive gauges. Now, let's head on over to Wisdom Form. Wisdom Form gains its levels through kills on Heartless. Now this form can be a pain to level depending on how you do it, so let me show you some of my favorite methods. A good place to start grinding it is in the Timeless River in the window on the farmost right side. Equip the Oathkeeper Keyblade or Bond of Flame, Firaga as you customize, and some ethers as well, and go to town on the Heartless in this room on the right. It's a good place to start, and as you gain more levels, you can head to each one of the windows, as each window contains Heartless you can kill, albeit increasingly difficult Heartless to kill, so it makes it not as good for late grinding, but it's a good place to start for Wisdom Form. And like I said, once you get to Wisdom Form level 5 or 6, you can start killing all the Heartless in this area, making it an efficient grinding method, and also you can simply exit the door and re-enter it to retain all your Wisdom Form drive. And now, let's get into another method for leveling Wisdom, which is in Agrabah. This is useful for late game. I usually do it after you complete the second visit to Agrabah, and since most of the enemies in this area are resistant to fire magic, what I like to do is equip Magnet and Thunder and go to town. You can equip the Oathkeeper or the Photon Debugger Keyblade. Again, I prefer Oathkeeper because it keeps you in forms longer. Photon Debugger increases your thunder damage, so it's really up to you. And while you're in Agrabah, in late game stages, you can kill two birds in one stone by both killing Heartless for Wisdom Form leveling and synth grinding on those same Heartless if you're missing the synth materials. So, if you're doing a plat run for this game, this makes it a very efficient method to, again, kill two birds with one stone. You're getting Wisdom Form levels and you're synth grinding at the same time, making this a very useful spot. And now let's head on over to Limit Form rather. Limit Form is a KH2 FM exclusive form, which gains its levels through successful limits completed. So what you're going to want to do, the easiest way to level this, is go ahead and throw on the Oathkeeper Keyblade, go down to the Mushroom in the Treasure Room again in Agrabah, and go ahead and activate it, and go ahead and do Sonic Rave on the back of the wall, as many times as you can. The reason why you're not hitting the enemy is because hitting an enemy depletes the gauge faster. And since we're trying to get as many limits off as possible before our gauge runs out, hitting an enemy would not be ideal. If you have all the MP boosts in the game, you can actually get 3 Sonic Raves off on this back wall. So, it's not too long of a time, but it is still a pretty long grind. But just hang in there, it's all worth it as you get the dodge roll ability. And also make sure you come out here to restore your MP by just tapping on the save point. Next is Master Form. Master Form gains its levels through obtaining Drive Orbs. The little small Drive Orbs give you 1 XP, the large Drive Orbs give you 3 XP. A good way to start leveling this is right after you obtain Master Form, the Cavern of Remembrance opens up for the first time. Go ahead and head into the second room, attack the Drive Orbs, and then death abuse to the Hot Rods and the cannon guns on the floor below. On higher difficulties, this should be a very easy death. On lower difficulties, you may want to take off all your armor, but it is still a pretty quick death. After you death abuse, head on back into the room, and the Drive Orb should be respawned, but all your levels are still there. So you can use this to easily grind out with Master Form level 1, 2, and 3 to get your aerial dodge for early game, which is very useful. Another good place to do it is in Christmas Town. I did this on my second visit to Christmas Town, where you can exit and re-enter the area and retain all your drive. What you're going to want to do is head into Master, and simply do the Carousel RC. Each Carousel RC hit on an enemy drops a large Drive Orb. Again, if you are too high of a level, you can end up killing the enemies here, so just do be careful. If you are too high of a level, this isn't a very good method, but if you're low level like I was, then this is a pretty good grinding method for early game, and again should help you get some early Master Form levels. And as you see, upon exiting and re-entering the area, I have regained all my drive. It's a nice little mechanic in the game, and again, if you don't want to be wasting drive recoveries, I would go ahead and use that method to just easily restore your drive to make sure that you don't have to go in for drive recoveries on the mushrooms. And with that being said, let's head into the final place to grind Master Form, which is a late game spot, since you can only go here after you have first entered the world that never was. I don't know if you have to fight Roxas or not, but it'd be a safe bet to fight Roxas and then try coming here. Now, the key here is that you're going to want to have the Drive Converter ability. You get this from either having the Sweet Memories Keyblade from 100 Acre Wood, or by simply leveling and getting the ability. Also, make sure you have Wishing Lamp equipped for extra Drive Orb drops. Or extra money drops. Now what Drive Converter does as an ability, it converts money into Drive Orbs. Or rather, a large amount of money into Drive Orbs. So, the more money that drops, the more Drive Orbs that you get. And again, we're going to do the same thing as the money trick, since a lot of money drops here. Therefore, a lot of them can get changed into Drive Orbs, making this a very easy grinding spot for Master Form. In fact, I hit Master Form level 7. I was level 3 when I started grinding, by the way. In just about 7 minutes. which is a very short amount of time to be grinding for, considering that most of the other forms in the game can take upwards of an hour, even with the fastest method. And again, if you fail the RC, you don't want to exit the room in this case. If you simply wait it out, you will be reverted from dice form with all of your form gauges returned. So let's say you went into the dice form with 1 form gauge, you would be restored with 6 if your master form level was, I think that's 4. Yeah. So you'd be restored with 4. And that makes it a very efficient method for grinding and also restoring your drive gauges. And again, you can get it in as little as 7 minutes if this is done properly. Now, the final form you get is Final Form. Final Form obtains its levels through killing nobodies. An easy way to get this done is to just simply equip Fire as a shortcut, as many ethers as you possibly can, Oathkeeper as your main Keyblade, Bond of Flame on Final Form. A good place to start is to head on down to the Twilight Town basement. There are a few nobodies down here that are easy to kill, and it doesn't waste your drive too much, and it helps you easily get Final Forms level 2 and 3, and that enables you to enter other rooms and kill more nobodies. But again, a good place to start is down here. There are 9 nobodies in this room. Go ahead and fire them all to death. They should be very quick kills, especially with Bond of Flame equipped, which does increase your fire damage. After you kill those 9 nobodies, just go ahead and exit the room, head to the save point, warp out, and then warp back in. Now, after you have obtained a couple levels on Final Form, you could start entering the other rooms to go ahead and kill the nobodies here as well. So you should be netting around 15 nobody kills or so, which isn't that bad. But if you want some real Final Form leveling, after you go ahead and obtain, I would recommend Final Form level 4 or even 5 at times, if you're on lower levels, then head over to the Mysterious Tower. Now, go ahead, and it's going to be the same setup as before, except you have a little bit more drive to work with. Go ahead and start at the bottom of the steps, because there are easier enemies down here. And just go ahead and work your way up the steps. Again, using Final Form Pyraga to easily shred through enemies' HP. There are a total of 30 nobodies in the tower. So, it is probably one of the easiest grinding methods besides going to the world that never was, and working your way down from the Altar of Naught. But if you want to level Final Form up before heading to the endgame stage, this is a very good place to do it. And again, if you are finding yourself running out of Final Form gauges, no worries, just go ahead and skip the rest of the enemies that you can't kill, and head to the save point at the top, and go ahead and restore all your gauges by exiting and re-entering. And now let's get into one of the most complicated things to level if you're not doing it correctly, summons. I shouldn't say if you're not doing it correctly, if you're doing it rather other methods than this. Other methods than this go rather slow. So, summons gain their levels by every gauge that's depleted gets you 1 XP. So, you can abuse this fact by bringing up the gauge shortly after it gets depleted so that it depletes the gauge very fast in a short amount of time. Like you'll see here, it just goes under 6, like you'll see it go to 5, and then back up to 6, and then back down to 5. Every time it does that, it counts as a level for your summons. This makes it very easy to level when done with this method. And the summon of choice I have is Stitch. You can use Genie would be decent as well, but Stitch makes it so that you can he'll restore your NP, so you don't have to waste ethers. And Peter Pan and Chicken Little aren't good choices because they will attack the mushroom and waste summon gauges, or bring more up rather. And that's going to be it for this video, guys. I'm sorry if I was a little bit quirky on the commentary. First time doing a 2FM commentary, really. So I'm really sorry about that. If you guys enjoyed, please leave your feedback below. I would appreciate it if you did. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.